Thank you very much, our Chair. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, all protocols observed. I bring the salutation of the people of Migori and their support for the theme and also the agenda of this conference. I want to agree with Governor Arati that although Migori is included in Nyanza, but most activities never reach Migori. In terms of formation of administrative units, Migori is the youngest in this region. I think it's slightly younger than Nyamira. So people tend to forget the last-borns, talk about the first-borns and the middle children, but forget the last-borns. Now, I just want to say two things generally, I want to speak to my brother, the governor and the waziri of Nakuru. The sugar sector has not recovered. I live right inside cane, and there is no new development of cane in Homa Bay and in Migori. So anything that you see purporting to be cane from our mills are repackaged products from Comesa. And those repackaged products are taking the payments that ought to be given to our farmers, the payments that are supposed to be utilized to employ our young people. So although we are comfortable that we have sugar in our shelves, I think that is a smokescreen that needs to be dealt with. Secondly, I want to address what Governor Oparanya, Emeritus Governor and Emeritus Chair of COG has said. One, the reason, in my estimation, why there were no investors after that conference, and there is likelihood that there will be no or very few investors after this, we haven't listened to them. We haven't listened to them. We have been talking, and they have not been talking. I think as we handle more conferences, it is important to listen to investors and also buy from them what they are producing. They are not in the habit of listening to politicians like us and our political problems, but we politicians should listen to them and the solutions they have innovated for our challenges. So that would also be my suggestion going forward. Coming to Migori, Migori is a very strategic place. I believe it's the Newfoundland in this region. When you come to Migori and you talk about tourism, you know that Migori is 40 minutes to Masai Mara, and Migori is also 40 minutes to Serengeti. Migori receives flights, not commercial flights. We receive commercial flights about 3 in a week, but we receive 70 flights full of tourists to those areas. So there is a lot to be done in Migori. You can invest in that sector. I want to thank the national government. I hear that next week you are advertising for the expansion of the terminal of that airport. The little one that is existing is courtesy of my administration. The runway also needs an extension. And as we talk about airports, airstrips, I think Migori has the potential of having an airport that will bring people to Kenya who will also go to Tanzania. The tourism in Masai Mara and Serengeti is available. The entire lake tourism and water sports is available. From Migori, you will connect all the way to Busia as you do also the water transport. So Migori is ideal for that. And of course, there is cultural and other related tourism. So we encourage the national government to do its part and the county to do her part so that we are able to provide an enabling environment. I want to say that Migori has the most gold, but the problem is that county governments, and one of us talk about sustainability in terms of investments. In our constitutional architecture, we brought counties, but when we come to supporting counties, functions are never funded. If we do not fund these functions, it will still be a burden of the national government when the county architecture is there. So minerals that are in Migori County, the counties do not, and my county has no regulatory control or infrastructure. In fact, it is chaotic. It is in the hands of gangs. I have tried as best I can, and I'll not relent, to meet with the national government officials responsible for it so that we create order. We are losing millions and millions of shillings in the hands of cartels. We are discouraging organized investors to come and invest there when such opportunities are there. Migori County is also one of the areas that has the best potential for agriculture. We have land, we have people, and one of the going concerns that is stumbling is the Gitonganya sweet potato plant that we have. One of the reasons that is a challenge to it is the cost of power. The cost of power, the quality of power, the availability of that power is a challenge. I'll not elaborate, but I'll seek audience with the responsible waziri to be able to assist us address that. But when you look at agriculture, Migori County is about to benefit from 19,000 acres under rice. And with that rice, we are inviting all investors to participate in all the value chain that relates to rice. Lastly, because there are many and I do not want to speak of them, Migori County sells over 4,750 cattle every week. They are available in Migori County. Don't ask me where. Migori County is strategic because it is the only county in Kenya that has a functional border with Tanzania. If you go to Coast Kwale, Lungalunga and Vanga, there isn't much. Taita Taveta, Mount Kilimanjaro. If you come to Kajiado, yes, there are administrative facilities that take us to Arusha. When you come to Narok, there is the Masai Mara, and on the other side, Serengeti, so it is not much. We in Migori County connect with Tanzania through pathways. We have common communities in Kenya and Tanzania, and all the livestock, including what you had for lunch here, is from Migori County. We have not just patented it. So if you are interested in hide and skin and tannery, come to the source, which is Migori County. You will get livestock even from Zimbabwe. So that is very strategic. Lastly, when you talk about the SGR and you talk about the extension to Kisumu and Busia, what about through Kisii, Nyamira, and Hispania in Migori County? I think that will be a win-win for everybody. Thank you very much with all those remarks that I've made. You are all welcome to Migori County. When we have a conference, because we'll have it soon, we will be listening more to the investors, and we'll also be telling them details of what we are able to do together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Now let me ask, has Gladys spoken? No. Oh Lord, my goodness. Jim, you are the only one left. Thank you. Governor of Siaya.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kindiki, all protocols observed. I think I'm coming at the tail end. I'm feeling like a hungry man with a loaf of bread and you're told to eat it in 30 seconds. I'll not attempt to do that. First, I want to note that Siaya has a lot to offer. And next month, we are going to have an investment conference similar to this one in Siaya. I hope some of the partners here, whom we have also talked to, are not going to be fatigued and give up on Siaya. If we can talk about everything about resources, I think in Siaya we can talk about many resources in Siaya, but the most important resource is human resource in all its portfolio. And historically, if I want to talk about the availability of human resource in the Republic of Kenya, the first Vice President of the Republic of Kenya came from Siaya. The first barrister came from Siaya, trained in the Inns of Court in England. The first group of professors in the country who are lecturing in Makerere and abroad, came from Siaya, and recently we lost Professor Bethel Ogot, and I hope I'll carry your condolences and sympathies to the family of Professor Ogot. Now, I just want to note as a preamble that I'm very happy about some intervention the national government has undertaken together with the county, and I like the integrated approach. Like recently, we had a multi-ministerial delegation from Interior, from MITI, that's the investment ministry, from roads and communications. We had people from Kenya Shipyard talking about investing in the same place so that it is done in a planned manner. And that is about the port of, we are trying to build in Usenge. But more relevant to what we are discussing today, I wanted to say this. I think having listened particularly to what Senior Oparanya said, we should, in an investment conference, address the issue why we are not attracting as many investors as we wish. And investment conferences have taken place. When I was first elected in Parliament, we had an investment conference for Nyanza, presided over by Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. So it has been an ongoing conversation. One of the things that we learned when we had recently the investment conference hosted by Governor Nyong'o and sponsored by the Afrexim Bank. And we were talking about how investors can come directly to counties. And we found out there were so many roadblocks to an investor who wants, let's say, come to Siaya. We need to look at the legal framework to make sure that an investor who wants to invest in a county like Siaya can come there directly without legal hurdles. And I want to give a practical example of this. I was in a conference in Cairo where we were talking about urban and municipal development. And many delegations were going to Afrexim Bank signing deals. But we were busy at the conference talking about what we must do. And when we addressed the issue why that was happening, they said we should address the legal framework that makes it possible for investors to come directly to counties. For example, if you wanted to go into a private-public partnership under the current framework, you cannot succeed in 5 years. You cannot succeed in 5 years. And it has not been done. The counties that have tried have not succeeded. So I think we need to look at that framework. The other thing, whereas the Constitution gives a framework of sharing revenue, if you look at the revenue that is allocated to national government, and I'm glad to talk about this because I think there is acceptance of that fact, that if you look for roads, for example, you find that one county in a particular area is given more money for tarmac roads, like, more than, let's say, the entire of Nyanza. With that type of situation, it will be very hard for this region to move ahead. The national government should do a checkup and find out, are counties getting or regions getting equitable amounts of monies spent by national government in infrastructure and the rest. And lastly, I want to say this. If people feel good about what is happening, they don't need to be persuaded. They don't need to be persuaded. When Kibaki took over, in the first 6 months, there was a feel-good factor. And I'm challenging ourselves that having gone through these processes and in election cycles, we need to take measures that the ordinary Kenyans at the end of the day can say, we feel good, what is happening to us, what services are being delivered to us. And this investment conference will deal with this issue if you can open up the counties and the regions. I don't want to go beyond that. I thank you, and thank you very much, the organizers.
Thank you very much, Jim. Could I ask the deputy governors who are here to just stand and wave? I see my deputy governor is there, Dr. Willie, and others. Please, where you are. I'm sorry, this light is too strong. But anyway, thank you so much. Mr. Deputy President, thank you very much for letting us share your time. I'm sure that what has been said here is useful to your ears. And please come again to Kisumu and stay longer. I will be a very good host. And you know why I say so. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana. Tafadhali kila mmoja naomba kwa heshima tusimame. Studio natumai tuko tayari kwa sababu ya kutamatisha, kwa sababu ya muda.